And to work out how to read that. And good morning, everybody. My name is Osa. We are playing Farming Simulator 22 on Maypole Farm. Nearly said Oakfield Farm. It is Saturday, May 20th. We have the kids in the house. And we are looking at April 1, Year 6. I put the extended information panel on the top, which also tells us what the temperature is in Celsius. So, hey, that's a thing. Elsewhere, I have baled up our grass field and made grass, and our tractors are awaiting to be put away, so we will do that. I think I'll give them a clean first. This one needs a weight back on the front. So I need to collect those bales, put them all away, and then we can probably move on to April 2 and do a lot of contracts because we have a frighteningly small amount of money in the bank. And a loan? I should check on that. There's a lot of noise in here for some reason. I think the fans on my PC are making a little bit of a noise, and so is the fish tank pump. More than normal, should I say. Okay. Oh well, we'll get back in there. We'll check the money. No, I do not have a loan, I just do not have any money. Wow. That's a good thing. Well, it's not actually a good thing. And our field maintenance trailer did not fall through the floor this week. So that's also a good thing. Anyway, M Patchwork, good morning. We are now looking at, let me see, episode 59. I honestly don't recall how many episodes we went on Lawfolds. Obviously, Oakfield Farm went for quite a long time because Farm Sim 19 went 3 years instead of the usual 2, or at least usual up until that point. And I am thinking Farming Simulator PC editions will not be getting a 2024 update. So we'll probably have 3 years on this farm too. Let's put that down and drop, drop, drop. Thank you. And then I am going to chance the bale loading trailer and see if it completely screws up. Now, fortunately, the only bales on the map at the moment... Oh, hang on. We have food mixing bales. I should probably deal with those two. Okay. Let me park that there. No. Park that there and attach it. We'll jump out and... I'll wander over to the Massey Ferguson, clean up the baler, I'll put the food mixer on it, and we will use up all of the remaining food bales. We have 29 bales in this field, so if things go bad, I can delete all the bales on the map and make 29 grass bales, or whatever they are. I don't think anything has been fixed with the bales recently, so we could end up with a lot of grief. Okay, baler's clean, tractor is clean. And get the baler away. There's a lot of space in that shed all of a sudden. What don't I have? Oh, we got rid of the bale wrapper. What else don't I have? We've got rid of the batwing mower, which we were using for mulching. Although I had moved that over to the other shed that used to live in this one. So we're kind of taking the opportunity at year 6 to refresh some of our equipment into more capable equipment. So I'm going to need the telehandler as well. So I'll put that there. We'll put that there. Let's go jump in the telehandler. Lots of bits of equipment in use this morning. Yay. And I think I've got the steering wheel turned a bit too much there. Alrighty. So, the whole point here is just to use up these bales so that they're not going to be a problem for us if I have to delete them. I'm hoping I don't have to, but better to be safer. Well, that didn't work. Stab. Right. Yay, 2. Okay, so this baler takes 3 of each. And a little, oh sorry, the TMR mixer takes 3 of each, plus a little bit more. That's not far enough in. Okay, that's 2. Shame we don't get paid for that maintenance shed having solar panels on the roof. And I think some children woke up too early this morning. Oh, when I think about it, I should probably fish the extra strong tea bag out of the cup of tea I have brewing. Before it gets too solid. A little bit more. And a little bit less. Alrighty, well, at least this week we're not having problems with bales sticking on the forks, which is was an issue last week. I don't know what it is with bales lately, but we are having big problems with them. Now, of course, with the telehandler, I can use a larger than usual bucket. So if we do go to loose material mixes, see, that's where I'm kind of dilemmaed here. Do I put in a second bunker and then mix grass and maize silage, and then shovel it into a mixer? Or do I get a bale storage shed and hopefully have the bales just not be an issue as loose stuff on an app? Anyway, park that there, we'll jump in this, and gives the cows some food, because they're down to 100,000 food. They really do eat very, very quickly. I mean, you could see this had a noticeable amount of TMR on the floor last week, and that has all but vanished. And we do have almost 50,000 litres of milk, so that's another 2 trips with the milk truck later today. So, quick update to what's going on this week. I actually built a planter for Mrs. Osa, so she can now, I think we've figured next weekend is when we're not going to see any more frosty nights, and it will be planting time. So we'll plant something. She's also given me direction to go buy enough lumber for at least 2 more, so that's going to be a trip this week. Last weekend, she was out of town last weekend with teenage Osa because one of her relatives had been diagnosed with cancer. I had to work, so wasn't a trip I could make, and because both our cars were in need of major work, we had to rent a car for her to go out there. She had to be back in town because of other things that we were required to be in town for, so she came back Tuesday. And then we found out that the thing that we were required to be in town for had been rescheduled to this coming week, so we have to be in town this week 2 days. Unfortunately, about 2 days ago we found out her relatives actually died, and so she's going back for at least the memorial service. She can't stay for the funeral because of the thing we have to be in town for this coming week. So that's all a complete mess. But Mrs. Osa's in town today. She'll be leaving tomorrow in another rental car, because we found out our car is almost done, but the thing that needs replaced is requires some programming, and our little maintenance shop doesn't have the requisite programmer. He has a programmer, but it doesn't reprogram Saab modules, so he's been calling around trying to find someone who can do such a thing. He's found someone, but couldn't get it done last week. So that's where we're sitting at the moment. I think that's good. That is a 21,000 litre bucket of nice cow food. So we will get this one done. And then after next week, everything should be settling down. Unfortunately, it has cost us an absolute arm and a leg. The Chevy Equinox, I think I announced needed $3,500 worth of work done to it. And so having put probably about $2,000 of work into it already, and it's still not working, we decided that frankly a $7,000 car wasn't worth putting $7,000 into to fix. So Monday this week we went and bought ourselves a Honda Odyssey and got rid of the Equinox. And that is actually probably going to be a little bit more useful to us than the Equinox was. The Odyssey has more seats, and with typically 3 kids in the van or in the vehicle on a weekend, and the ever expanding hip width of some of the kids, it's just getting you can fall out a little bit tight in the back seat in the Equinox. So having a third row gonna be a little bit better, I think. We can put down the seats in the rear, so I can, it's probably a longer bed at the back. I can put longer strips of lumber in, so also a good deal. You go in there. Yes. So yeah, there was a trade-in on a car, plus vehicle repairs, plus vehicle rentals. Fortunately, Mrs. Osa can stay with her dad, so no hotel bills. But lots of eating out last week, at least for them. Me, I was confined to eating indoors because I didn't have a reliably functional car. So I made myself a big pot of chili, and that lasted me about 4 days. Getting more and more spicy each day, because, hey, that's how chili sometimes works. Okay, if I stab that with the right prong, stick it next to the yellow one, we should be able to pick up both of these and be good. And that's it. So again, happy to have a telehandler on the farm. I do find them very, very useful. Skid steer is also useful, but in this situation, skid steer wouldn't work. It doesn't have the reach or the lift. I do have a spare skid steer spike, of course, that I really don't know what I'm going to do with. We've already got a triple spike for this. I'm not sure I can reformat the spike we have. Anyway, doesn't matter. We'll do that. We'll jump out. So that's all of our loose bales except the 29 conditioned grass bales currently in the field. Oh, hi cows. You're definitely making the most of that, aren't you? Okay, that's done. Gonna leave that there for now. We'll go find the John Deere. So this may be the final nail in the coffin for the Anderson bale trailer. depending on whether we go into orbit or not. Not be happy if we do. Because if we do, it'll basically be the third time I've lost the trailer, the tractor, and had to shenanigan my way back into having them in the game, or in the save. Oops. Now, I'm not actually sure what causes the tractor and trailer to go into orbit, but just having bales on the back, they seem to get very, very sticky and just bond together. So we pick up 24. Actually, I can't remember whether there's 27 or 29, but we will make a quick count of bales once we've picked up a full truckload, just so we know how many to put back. Then I'll try not to get any stuck on the roof, because I did that last time. I'm still not sure what to do with the pig outlet area. Then, this field needs some fertiliser, and that will be good. April. This is the first cut, so it's not the biggest it could be. We'll get some fertiliser spread on it, and then I want to run over. Actually, don't know what I want to do. Got to take all the bales off first, so we'll get that done. Oh, that's handy. I must admit, it's the first Honda I've had. Actually, my first car was a Peugeot. But then since then, I've had a Subaru. My wife's had a lot of GM vehicles. Our first minivan was a GM vehicle. Saab is obviously technically a GM vehicle. What else have we had? We had a Kia Sedona as our second van. We had to get rid of the first van because the air conditioning didn't work, and one of our foster kids was her mum took drugs while she was pregnant, and the girl is totally incapable of coping with heat. So we have to make sure that she's well hydrated. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, I count 5. And being in a car with non-operating air conditioning, just very, very bad. So, we got rid of there was nothing really wrong with the Chevy minivan that we had, except no air conditioning. And we were okay with that. But, yeah. So we got the Kia Sedona. That was good. I mean, the other thing with the Chevy was bits of metal would fall off whenever it snowed, because the frame was fine. The body panels were just rotten through. Press a button. That one? Yeah. But it had more life in it. Sedona was good, but then we stopped being foster parents, so we figured we could probably dispense with having a minivan. Okay, what's gonna happen here? And as you can see, there are bales stuck together and it all gets incredibly messy. And that is the problem. However, I can still use this trailer for contracts if need be. So yeah, again, the Kia was fine, but we decided an SUV would probably serve us better than a minivan. So that's why we traded the Kia in for initially a Saab 9.7. That started giving us a lot of grief, and part of the problem with Saabs is you can't get spare parts for them easily anymore. That's not really going to work, is it? Alrighty. So at that point, and we did have a good influx of cash.